and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel. My name is Rates, and we're once again doing another Indy Spotlight, and we're back with Kamikaze Pro Live 40, the Big 40, and we are joined by Ronnie G. How are you doing?
Yo, 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 what's good, Rate Wrestle? How we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm living the dream, mate. If I can get it done quick enough. Um, It's going to be at the Digvest dojo, the Kamikaze dojo, which, to be fair, the best shows have been there recently, so it should be pretty good to get there again.
Yeah, man. Can't wait for it. Let's do it.
Okay, and we're going to break down the card. So as I discussed with you prior, we'll bring your match nearer the end, nearer the main event. So we're going to start off with, I've just got these in a random order. We're going to start off with George Lyden versus JC, which is another non-title match. George Lyden doesn't defend his title anymore, according to Carl.
Yeah. He's too good. He's too good, man.
So a bit of breakdown for this. JC lost his last match, which was a tag team match, which was one of my favourite matches I've seen at the Kamikaze, which was him, the ring gremlin versus Cheeky Little Buggers. And George beat Kieran McQueen, and this is a first-time singles match that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it is. As far as I'm aware as well, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you think this is going to go down?
George Lyden versus JC, Too Young to Die versus The Last King Standing, right? What a match. Now, I think, man like JC, he's been put in the graph recently. Like, you know what I mean? Match after match, show after show, he's been proving himself, all the time. And, like, I just think, like, it's time now. Hard work pays off for him. So I think it's a really good opportunity on his hands. But, George ain't playing around. Like, I had George for my second match, and it was that, it was the open challenge. And trust me when I say this, man, that guy is like another level altogether. So it's not going to be easy for JC, but I do wish him the best of luck. But mate, George, it's not one to play around with. His in-ring ability is just like, as I said, next level. So as long as JC, can keep up with that, then I don't think he'll have a problem. To be fair, but yeah.
Yeah, JC said he's been improving a lot recently, from when I first saw him start out to now. Obviously, he's had big wins against people like Luke Douglas. But George Lyden's a different breed of wrestler. But I've noticed recently with George that he seems to have had enough as well of the younger people, even though George is 20 himself, it sounds weird. But like the newer people getting in, he seems to be showing off a bit more, which can get a bit complacent.
I don't blame him, to be fair, mate. I feel as if, like, once you reach like a certain stage in your career, like you can, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like I think like I don't think he's reached that, yet, but I think like he's like starting to reach that, and yeah, man. So I can't really blame him for it, if you know what I mean.
No, that's fair enough. And if you had to pick someone, who do you think would win this match if you had to throw your hat in?
As much as man like JC is my boy. I'm going to side with Too Young to Die for this one. Man like George Lyden, I think he's going to get the job done. Only because I've wrestled him as well, and I know he's a tough cookie, mate. When I say tough cookie, I mean tough cookie. So I think he's going to come out with a dub.
Yeah, I have to agree. Like JC, he's improved a lot, but George Lyden's kind of another level of wrestler, and that's why he is the Kamikaze Pro Live champion, technically.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the Relentless champ, he's two-time champion, so, he's just a different breed of a wrestler. But, yep, so both going towards George Lyden, unfortunately, JC. Next up, we've got a returning Kamikaze Pro champion in man like DeReese, against the future of Kamikaze build himself, Zach Walker. So for anyone that's not seen Zach, he had his debut match against Alex Connors. He did come up short, but it was an amazing, amazing match. Guy's incredible. And to be fair, man like DeReese, his last match at Kamikaze, he beat Alex Connors. So this is once again obviously going to be a first-time singles match because this is Zach Walker's second match. How do you think this is going to go?
So I think personally, it's a lot of pressure for Zach, to be honest. I mean, like, the kid's phenomenal. Like, please don't get me wrong. Like, even in his debut match against Alex Connors, like, he just proved of like, why he should be on that roster. Even at training, like week in, week out. Like he's always proving himself constantly. Like so I think he's got a lot of potential. But man, DeReese, like, you know, name speaks for itself, doesn't it? Man like DeReese, he's one of the hottest prospects in the whole of UK, and like you know, it's gonna be a tough one for Zach. But I think like with the experience of DeReese, especially, and you know, knowing that he is the Kamikaze Pro champ, he's got to be the Kamikaze Pro champ for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a close one, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it's one of them ones like man like DeReese, obviously, for anyone that's he's the main show champion as well, so like he's the champion of the company.
Champ.
He's been everywhere. He's in GCCW and stuff like that at the moment. So but he's had a bit of like a gripe against the 2.0 guys. I think he's kind of decided that, you know, enough is enough. Why am I going against these kind of people? Which it can be fun to watch, but it's also he might eventually be get a bit complacent with it. I'm going to be honest. Because you can't take people like Zach, even though Zach Walker's young, he's only 16. You can't take someone like him for granted.
Yeah, man, and the kid's doing his, you know, his school exams as well, man. So, you know, like it's like hefty balance for him, isn't it, man?
Yeah. And the difference with it is, man like DeReese isn't going to have much to go off. He's probably seen the one match that Zach Walker's had, whereas Zach Walker's probably seen hundreds of man like DeReese matches.
Yeah, so there's a difference, man.
If I had to go win it, like it's kind of hard to go against man like DeReese in this match, just because, you know, the man's champion of Kamikaze Pro and he's everywhere right now. But I feel like Zach will give him a run for his money.
I think so too, man. Like, you know, I wouldn't sleep on Zach Walker. You know, he's called the future for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like I'm gonna side with you know, Mr. MLD, Mr. Man like DeReese on this one. But man, don't sleep on Zach Walker, man.
Yeah,
that guy, he will come back stronger than ever, even if he does lose. Which I mean, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see what happens.
He is getting a very tough start as well, facing someone like Alex Connors and then going straight to man like DeReese. I feel like you had that kind of run as well, didn't you?
Yeah, man. Like, get thrown straight in the deep end. Like, it's mad. It is mad. Like, I remember because like I had obviously Alex Connors for my first match as well, and then like obviously I faced George and you know, and like a man like DeReese straight after, and it's like, man, you just get, you know, deep and deep
break.
all the time. Like, yeah, like I'm just trying to swim and it's just too deep for me. Like, man, it's mad. But yeah, man, like Zach Walker, man, it is gonna be a hard one. Like, you know, I'm sure everyone knows that it's gonna be a tough one. Man like DeReese, as I said, he's one of the hottest prospects in the whole UK. So yeah, it's gonna be one to watch.
Yeah, definitely going to be a great match. But moving on to a match which I think has the ability to be my favourite match of the night. We've got Chantel Jordan versus Sonny Noss. So Chantel Jordan's come off a massive win on the last Kamikaze Pro Live, where she beat Sue Young of all people, which is the weirdest thing I'm ever going to say on a Pro Live Dojo show. And then Sonny Noss lost to Luke Douglas, and then Luke Douglas decided to beat him down a bit. This is also, like a lot of Kamikaze Pro Live matches, this is the first time ever between the two of them.
Yeah.
This is going to be fun, because Chantel obviously is all about kicking the crap out of someone, and Sonny Noss he's got the comedy style of him, but people probably slip on him actually being really good at striking.
I know what you mean. Yeah, obviously, Chantel Jordan, I mean, like, the name speaks for itself in Kamikaze, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, everybody knows what Chantel's about. And, you know, she is a tough cookie as well. But, man, Sonny Noss, that guy is charismatic as hell, man.
Yeah.
I lie to you, man, he's got some charisma and a half. So, as soon as you see Sonny Noss come to the ring, do you know shit's about to go down? You know what I mean? So, I just think, like, yeah, it's gonna be a good one to watch as well, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun match. Sonny Noss, every match he's in is fun because he knows how to wind up the wrestlers against and also get the crowd behind him. I describe him like a DDT pro wrestler. Like he's got the comedy aspect of him, but he can also strike. He laid a headbutt on Luke Douglas, which nearly knocked him out.
Yeah, man.
And Chantel Jordan is obviously just, if you think of Kamikaze Pro, you think of Chantel Jordan. She kind of made Kamikaze Pro what it is at this moment in time. It's hard to look past Chantel Jordan in any match.
It's a tough one,
And she is the Banconic champion for a reason as well.
Yep. And she beat me in that match as well, man. So she definitely is a tough cookie.
Yeah, that's the reasoning in it.
Okay.
But if I had to go for a winner, I'd probably go Chantel.
Yeah. Fairs.
Do you think Sonny Noss's might pick it up?
I believe in my boy Sonny Noss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I train with him week in, week out, and I've been seeing what he's capable of. Now, I know Chantel Jordan is the name, in Kamikaze Pro, and she's the Banconic winner. But I think there might be a slight upset, mate. And I think the upset is going to happen at Pro Life 40 when Sonny Noss pins Chantel Jordan 1, 2, 3 and gets the job done. So I'm going with Sonny Noss on this one, mate.
I wouldn't be angry, I'll be honest. Look, I love Sonny Noss. He's one of them people that instantly when I saw him, he brought me in. It's just the trouble is Chantel Jordan is one of the only ones that it seems like a lot of wrestlers when they kind of get a bit bigger, they get a bit complacent with the younger talent, whereas Chantel Jordan just kicks the crap out of anyone she sees.
She does, man.
So I can't look past her, but Sonny Noss a winner, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, same. Me neither, man. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
I mean, still don't get me wrong, it is going to be a close one, but I think if Sonny is going to win, he's going to get the shit absolutely beaten out of him first, like properly, and then he'll be able to just get like one over in the end if he is going to win. And it's what I think. So yeah, I think it's going to happen for Sonny.
Yeah, and she lost to I think it was Edgar just by a roll up out of nowhere, so she can be caught off guard.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Keep watching, Sonny. We are going to move on to a match where you're going to have to do some of it because I don't know much about the person because he's debuting. So we've got Alex Connors. I know a lot about Alex Connors. I drank the Kool-Aid and now I'm full on behind Alex Connors forever. And he's facing a debuting Blake Violet.
Yo. Now, I'm not going to say much about Blake, because I suppose you'll be able to see that on Friday, but man, you're in for something on Friday when Blake Violet steps through that curtain and makes his way through that ring, mate. Because man, he's something.
Yeah, I need to. I forgot his nickname. It's like the Psycho Artist, is it, or Psychopath Artist?
Something like that.
I don't want to deadpan him, so I'm going to quickly find out what the name he's going by. The Psycho Artist. I did get it right the first time, which is an incredible name. And he does look like a psychopath. But he is going against Alex Connors, who Alex beat Zach Walker. He's pretty much the guy that Kamikaze throw the new people to, as you are aware. The odd person has beaten, but a lot of the time he does beat the debuting wrestlers, which is fair enough because he's got the experience. Obviously, first time singles, I have to mention that, but it's his debut, so it makes sense. I can't look past Alex Connors. As I said, he now has my number and he will fight me if I ever go against him.
Yeah. Same, to be honest. Like, I don't want to slaughter verbally too much about Alex Connors because he's always on this. So, just in case, like, he might end up slaughtering me back. So that's not really what I want, mate, to be honest. But anyways, Alex Connors, he needs no introduction. He's one of the top heels in Kamikaze Pro. He knows how to do a job and he knows how to execute it perfectly. And I think going into Pro Life 40, he's not going to be playing around. Now, I know Blake Violet's coming straight out of the blue. He's coming, he's ready, hands-on. Like, he wants to get in there and get the job done on a debut. But I've been there, done that. Zach Walker's been there, done that. A few of us have been there and done that. And it's safe to say that the majority of us have actually failed. But, so I think, it will be a tough one for Blake. But I do think Alex Connors will get the dub in the end. But Blake, I'm still rooting for you, mate. I want you to prove me wrong, mate.
Yeah, and he looks like a bit of a different breed from the few people that have returned. A lot of people that have come out of the dojo in recent time are very high-flying wrestlers. Your Nates, yourself, you've got a bit of power, obviously. Your Edgars, your Zach, obviously, is quite high-flying, whereas Blake Violet doesn't look like a high-flyer. He just looks like he's going to just run through someone.
Yeah, and he's got so many other abilities, and just like in the ring on Friday, you'll see him basically just put them all together and just prove himself and why he deserves to be on the Kamikaze Pro roster.
Definitely. Obviously, I'm going to have to go with Alex, not just because of the bias, but also because Blake is a complete unknown to me. So you go with what you know.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. I can't blame you for that one, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Alex Connors as well for that one.
Sound. So unlucky Blake. We move on to a match between Edgar Adams and Kieran McQueen. So Edgar beat Will Stevens last time out, and George Lyden beat Kieran McQueen. First time singles that I could find between the guys, and that's outside of Kamikaze, which I'm surprised because they are around the same circles a lot.
They are. Oh.
What's your opinion on Kieran McQueen's mental breakdown? That's what I'm going with. He thinks he's a professional footballer.
Yeah. You know what? I can't lie, mate. It's actually heartbreaking to see. Because match day Kieran McQueen, like, you know what I mean? Everyone's always had this image of him being like, oh, he's the guy with the football. He's the guy who's like, he's the guy that links football and Kamikaze and wrestling together. Like, you know what I mean? So all the little kids that are into football and things like that, they look up to guys like Kieran McQueen.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's had like a mental breakdown and things like that, it's starting to think like, hold on a second, I can't really look up to him anymore. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Like, I mean, from my perspective, it's like, if I was in the ring with him, I'd sure as hell kick his ass. But it is what it is. If he likes that, he likes that. What it's whatever floats his boat. At the end of the day. So yeah,
mate. It's different. I think like it's also when he snapped, he beat up Sonny Noss, which makes me sad. Because if you're gonna beat up the lovable Sonny Noss, you're definitely gonna get hatred. But he's got like Edgar Adams is like phenomenally on the roll as a wrestler. Like everywhere he's been recently, he's absolutely smashed it. Whereas Kieran, he did what Samuel Hughes did. He turned his back against the fans. But he's not been picking up the wins since, which is what Sam has done. So I can't look past Edgar in this.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm never going to sleep on my boy, Speed Demon Edgar Adams. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know what he's capable of. Everybody knows what he's capable of. Like, he's proved it time and time again in the ring. I mean, was it Pro Life 38 or 37? Was it 37 with George? 37, right? It was.
Yeah, it would have been 37 because I think 38 would have been the triple threat, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. So it's it was on 37. Sorry, and man, like if that main event doesn't prove why Edgar Adams deserves to be at the top, then I don't know what does, mate. Because he put on a performance, and it's not only then. Like I fought Edgar as well. Obviously not at Kamikaze, but at like other promotions and things like that. And like I know what he's about. And that guy, he don't play around, man. Like, Ray Wrestle, just when I say this, that guy does not play around. So, going into Pro Life 40 against Matchday Kieran McQueen's going to get an ass whooping. Yeah. But, like, I'm not going to sleep on McQueen either, though. You know what I'm saying? They're calling him McQueen for a reason because he is Lightning McQueen, mate. So, yeah.
The way I look at it, which I probably can use in a Kieran term, is, on EA, FIFA, where you got people that just abuse the pace. That's what Edgar Adams is, isn't it? He's just literally that's what he is.
Yeah, man.
So Kieran McQueen's like your steady, like a decent, like a Kevin De Bruyne, who's actually a good player, but like he hasn't got the pace. So he just looked bad somehow.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, definitely gonna have to go with Edgar Adams.
Same, man. Speed is my boy, so I'm rooting for him all the way.
Excellent. We are going to move on to a match which you have a bit of a stake in because you're actually in it. So unfortunately, there's supposedly a bias on this channel towards someone which we'll get to in a second. So we've got yourself and Coach Mahon. Do you have a tag team name now? I believe it's Team Dream Chasers, is it?
You know what? Surprisingly, not yet. Like, so like every single week, like, me and Coach always come up with like new names and things like that. I'm all like, yo, bro, I found the perfect name. And then like one of us is like, yeah, sounds cool, bro. And then, from there, you can kind of like...
You can see the look of, I don't want this
name.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like, oh, okay, great. I'll just keep going. I'll just keep making more names up and things. So like, we're still yet to settle on a name, but it will be coming soon, like real soon. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is your second time out as a tag team. against, I believe, I'm going to quickly look this up in a second, but I don't think Luke Douglas and Will Stevens have ever tagged anywhere.
I got a clue either, so yeah.
So a bit of a tale of tape for this. Obviously, you won your last match out against Nate Rowley. You won yourself and Coach won the tag team match at the show previous to that against Ryan and Will Stevens. So Will Stevens has decided, you know what, I want another crack at you guys.
He wants to run it, so let's run it back.
Which, if he's going to bring anyone in as his tag team partner, Luke Douglas isn't a bad shout.
Not at all, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Luke picked up the win, I believe, at the last show against Sonny Noss, and then Stevens lost to Edgar Adams. Stevens is struggling right now, and I think he's trying to throw, as they say, the shit at the wall and see what sticks. And next up is getting Luke Douglas as his tag team partner against yourselves.
Yeah, man.
So, what are your thoughts on this match?
So, I mean, Will Stevens, he kind of has that experience of getting in the ring with the Dream Chaser, if you know what I mean. And he knows how that turned out, at Pro Life 38, where him and Parrot took the L. Now, I can't lie, from my and Coach's perspective, it was a tough match, man. Damn as how it was. Like, I took like a double chop. Yeah. Dude, have you seen Ryan Parrot, man? He's like Eiffel Tower.
Ryan Parrot is unlike, you don't realise how big he is.
Yeah. Dude, he's huge, man. So, yeah. Anyways, I took like a double chokeslam from Steve and Ryan Parrot, and instantly I knew what Steve was about then. Like, you know what I mean? So he has that power within him. And Luke, I mean, like, Luke Douglas, as I said, for Chantel, he's like a name in Kamikaze Pro, which everybody knows.
Yeah.
He's been there from like the come up. He's one of them guys, and he's got that experience and things like that over me and Coach, but that doesn't stop him from ass kicking as well. So I think when the Dream Chaser and the greatest sports coach of all time team up once again at Kamikaze Pro Life 40, Luke Douglas and Will Stevens are in for the maddest ass kicking ever, and we're basically gonna show it's done, mate.
The trouble is, not for you guys. The trouble is, you're not an experienced tag team, but you're not like Luke Douglas and Will Stevens are not a tag team. I've just looked it up; they've never tagged together. So you're technically more experienced than them. They're both experienced guys. It's just, will they work together as a tag team? Obviously, they've both been in tag teams. Will and Parrot, and then obviously Luke's been in a massive tag team called the Bled for a while, so he knows how to get on, but he's also one of these people that if he doesn't get on with his partner, it just doesn't work instantly. It worked with Clint, it worked with Elliot Jordan, but I don't know if it'll work with Will Stevens.
Yeah, Luke has that experience, like especially like I'm tag teaming with Clint. It's big time, like you know what I mean, like, and also he has held the Kamikaze Pro Tag Champs, so it's like
It's raining.
Yeah, man, seen the gold. He knows what the tag division is all about. So it's going to be a tough one. Like, please don't get me wrong. It is going to be a tough one. But I think we're still going to get the job done. So, listen, yeah.
So I'm assuming you're going for yourselves. Be weird if you didn't.
I can't. Yeah, exactly.
As there's not a bias on this channel, I'm going to go towards Luke Douglas's team.
Okay.
There's not a bias, but...
I'll be leaving now, mate.
I honestly, like, it's going to be a very close match, but I feel like it's just... It's hard to... I'm sitting on the fence. The fence is being sat on, there you go, which is not normal for a Luke Douglas match, so there you go, enjoy that.
Normal.
But we will go on to... I'm assuming we don't know if it is the main event. I don't know if it was announced as the main event. I haven't really looked into it fully, but it sounds like it should be.
It should be, 100%.
Yeah, we've got Nate Rowley returning recently from a shoulder injury. He lost to a certain Ronnie G the last show.
I'm joking, yeah.
And he's facing Samuel Hughes, who is returning from an injury. He hasn't wrestled since, I think it's Live 37, 2 shows ago. Sam has attacked... Nate Rowley twice in the last 2 shows, I believe, and then you were involved in attacking as well, I believe.
There was no need. You know what I mean? Like, I have no...
You were just living your life.
I was celebrating with Coach, you know what I mean? First match of the show, and next thing you know, Sam's music, he starts coming up. I'm like, what's going on? So
So the story behind this match is Nate and Sam have meant to have this match probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Nate Riley injured his shoulder, so Sam had to fight someone else at that time. Then it was announced again, and it was supposed to be Nate versus Sam, I believe, at 38. It may be 37. And then Sam hurt his shoulder, so they had to postpone it again. But finally, unless someone's hurt their shoulder, which they haven't announced yet, it's going to happen this Friday.
It could actually be happening, man.
Yeah, and I've heard the winner takes the other person's shoulder home.
Now that is a match. That is a match, mate. And trust me, you do not want to miss that match.
Yeah, and once again, first time singles. It should be their third match by now, but it is their first time singles. This is going to be a banger of a match. Sam's
100%.
got that dog in him at the moment, and he's got the. Like, normally he just hates everyone, but he genuinely hates Nate. And he's not one to frown away from breaking the rules, whereas Nate tries to stay within the lines. But will Nate snap against someone that's tacked him twice?
Nah, you know what? Like, I fought Nate recently, right? Now, he was in the ladder match with me as well, you know, at Bangkok as well. And that was like a taster of our match, you know, of the one that we just had at Pro Life 39. And trust me when I say this, you know how we said Sam's that dog? Nate Riley, the Skywalker, is a bigger dog. Like, trust me, like, I know I got the job done. Yeah, I pinned his ass 1, 2, 3, obviously as the Dream Chaser does. But Nate Riley, the Skywalker, mate, he's proved it time and time again. His in-ring ability, his athleticism, everything about him. He has that look. He has that thing about him, and he's not to be slept on.
Yeah. And, the trouble with Nate, unfortunately, is unless I've been not reading into it properly, he hasn't won a match on live yet.
Oh yeah, he hasn't actually. Yeah, and you know, it's weird because it makes you think, right? But like, it just shows the impact that he's had on the Kamikaze Pro fans, because like they're still behind him, show after show. You know, like it's always chanting his name. Like, you know, right before he comes out the curtain, you can already hear the Skywalker chants going, and it's like, you know, shit's about to go down.
Yeah, like he's not. Like, it's not like Nate obviously hasn't won a match, but it's not like he's been convincingly losing continuously. Like, everyone's just about him, obviously yourself. Fantastic Claymore kick, by the way, just out of nowhere. It just clicked in my head.
Actually, you know what? I actually did that one for you, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wrestle.
Well, that's why I look like Drew McIntyre. But yeah, it's not like this. He's just been getting smashed by everyone, and I think that's what the crowd get back behind him, because he is showing his talent. He's a very good wrestler. This match is going to be very close, because on the side of you go that Sam Hughes has picked up a few wins. He's also the dirty little rascal. You know, he will low blow someone. He'll rip a turnbuckle off.
That's the thing.
Eye poke.
Yeah, because in that ring, Nate's got to go with that IQ, like, you know, that Samuel Hughes IQ of, like, you know, you never know when Sam's gonna do something dirty, like, you know what I mean? Like, as you said, it could be like an eye rake, it could be a low blow, it could be, you know, taking like a turnbuckle off the corner type of thing, and the ref can't see it. And that's what Sam's about. You see, Sam's the type of guy that will get anything in his power to get the job done, if you know what I mean. Like, I've never actually personally been against Sam. I've trained with him countless times. Yeah, I've met with him, you know, countless times. But like, I can tell, like, he's that guy that will just, like, he'll do whatever it takes, basically. And he's not to be slept on. Not at all, mate. Like, you know, as I said, like, so many good things about the Skywalker. It's going to be a tough matchup, man, for him against some Samuel Hughes. Because Samuel Hughes, man, he's that guy as well, bro.
Yeah, and this is the reason I think it's going to be it has to be the main event. If it's not, they might have announced it at the main event. I've just not paid attention at all. But, like, just both guys, there's a vendetta against both guys against each other. And it's hard to pick who's going to win. I feel like it's weird that I feel like, number-wise, if Nate had one win, I'd probably go towards Nate. But because of that and him not having picked up a win, Yeah, it's just noticed as the first match, so it's definitely not noted as the main event, so it might not be the main event. I'm going to go Samuel Hughes just because if he's got the cheating aspect, I'll be honest.
First, now, mate, first, I ain't going to argue with that, you know what I mean? But you see, I'm going with my boy, the Skywalker, because I'm never going to sleep on the Skywalker, you know? And, mate, I'm a huge fan of him myself, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I'm going to go with Skywalker, Nate Riley. I think he's truly going to get the job done. And he's going to prove himself of why, of what Kamikaze Pro has been missing on by not giving him all the W's. Because he deserves that first W, and at Pro Live 40, that's the perfect place for it to be.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I wouldn't be sad if he won. I feel like he does deserve to kind of get his foot in the door with a win. But that's the end. So we've previewed all the matches. Tickets are still on sale, which I'll have in the description in the video. Your Instagram has been below your name, which we've got as Ronnie.G1_. Do you have I know you're on Twitter and so forth like that. Is the links any different? Are they all the same?
Nah, yeah. So my Twitter, dude, give me 1 sec.
That will all be in the description for people to check out.
Yeah, sound cool. Yeah, I think it's Ronnie G PW, something like that.
Pro wrestling, yeah, I think it was on Insta, yeah, but I'll be that'll be in the description for you anyway.
Yeah.
As usual, for everyone, like and subscribe. We'll be back with a review, surprisingly, with Alex Connors, because I'm not allowed to not have him on the channel, and I'm not against it. And that's it from myself, and thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. Honestly, it's been a pleasure.
Excellent, and that's goodbye, everyone.
Peace out.